So yeah, this is Tom from 2 Cave Aquatics again. My battery died again. Sometimes I just don't pay attention to the little flashing battery light up in the corner. But I thought I'd pick up where I left off in that last video. Not complaining, not looking for any sympathy or anything about my childhood. It was what it was. And I guess if I had to do everything over again, I would, the same way. I ran away from home when I was 16, barely 17 years old. I got tired of getting hit and not having a mother, and I discussed that, a little bit of that, in my previous video, so I guess this is a part 2. And I ran away when I was young, and from Michigan I went to Florida. And I got picked up hitchhiking one night by some guys. I was in the back of their pickup truck with a camper shell on top of it. Pretty wasted. Barely 17. And they pulled over and robbed a bar on the side of the road in Florida. And later they got pulled over by the police. And I was with them, even though I didn't rob anybody. I didn't have a gun. I was sentenced to prison at 17, actually on my 18th birthday. I got 15 years in penitentiary. Florida, one of the most violent prisons in the United States. And I spent the next 10 years there. I actually escaped from maximum security while I was there. Spent 4 days running through the swamps before I got caught. And while I was there, a correctional officer murdered an inmate. And about a year later, I got charged with capital murder in an attempt for them to cover that homicide up. It was the only unsolved homicide in Florida prison history. And I spent the next 2 years facing an electric chair for a capital murder that I knew nothing about. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days for 2 years in that cell. If I got found guilty, I was going to the electric chair. Found not guilty, I was going home because I had already served over 8 years of my sentence. And I was actually held there for 2 years longer than I should have been because a correctional officer he got angry and murdered an inmate there, and they tried to cover it up. It made worldwide news, and the trial was televised. I spent 6 days in a capital murder trial. I was found not guilty in less than an hour by a jury of 9 women and a couple of men. And finally, I was released on parole for 2 years. I was released after I was acquitted. That capital murder is still on my record. Haven't been charged with it, so was escape from that prison is still on my record all these years later. But I deal with life. I've never been back to prison, and I've managed to raise 2 sons by myself and have a good life. And even though I was diagnosed later on as being bipolar, I'm doing well. And this aquarium you're looking at recently has a lot to do with that. I mean, it's a good hobby. It gives me something to do. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I can show my wife how smart I am. She's fascinated by this. And it's a good distraction. It's a great stress reliever. I believe that people with certain mental health disorders gain a lot of benefit from this. Even people on the spectrum, even nonverbal people, I think it could teach them a lot of patience. I mean, there's a lot going on in this aquarium with the colors and the movements. And I can sit here at night watching a movie with my wife and I can't even really tell you what's going on in the movie because half the time I'm looking at the aquarium. Yeah, I do things a little bit different in this tank, like with this Valsinaria, these green, this type of grass-looking plant here. Most people put those all along the back of the tank to hide their equipment. I chose to have it down the center this way, kind of divides the tank in half, and provides a little area where the smaller fish or shrimp can get away. And yeah, I don't use big canister filters or sumps. I do change the filter floss in this Tidal 110 a lot regularly. And I do weekly water changes. And I hear about low maintenance tanks. Low maintenance, fully planted, filterless, water changeless tanks, where they really don't do much at all. No water changes. There's a couple of fish in there. Some of them even claim they don't even feed their fish. They just eat leaf litter. But I don't consider this to be high maintenance at all. But once a week I put the Python water change hose in here, drain it down to about the top of that cave, put a little water dechlorinator in, make sure the temperature's right, and fill it back up. And I don't know, about every 6 months or so I might rinse one of my filters, my sponge filters out in some tank water. Beyond that, there's no maintenance here. I have tons of shrimp. I have lots of Cory catfish. You can see a couple of the albino ones back here in the cave. They keep this substrate clean. I mean, really, really clean. I don't have to vacuum the substrate at all. There's no detritus, there's no buildup on the bottom of this aquarium. On the substrate, it just doesn't build up. They eat it all. And beneficial bacteria takes care of the rest. Yeah, but when it came to that question about the canister filter, a fluval canister filter for this size aquarium cost me over $300 on Amazon, even with free shipping. And for $300, I mean, I've got a whole another 60-gallon aquarium that I'm getting ready to set up with the stand, an air pump, filtration system for it, everything else, and that barely cost me anything. I got the tank off of a Facebook group. But I mean, even if I went out and bought a new 75-gallon aquarium at one of the big box stores when they had their half-off sale, and a stand, and air pump, and sponge filter, I mean, I could set up a whole another big tank like this for what a big canister filter would cost me. So yeah, the expense, I said, people have lots of success with these big filters, and I can see why. They're great filters. I may end up using one myself. But that might be in my 60-gallon tank, and simply because of the hang on the back filter and having to be able to get access to it, it's a good 8 to 9 inches away from the wall. And that 60-gallon aquarium, I don't know that I want it that far away from the wall. It's in the living room, so I may use a canister filter that'll be housed underneath the tank in the stand. Also, while I'm on this subject, a lot of these sponge filters and other equipment heaters in these aquariums use suction cups. I don't clean the back of this tank. I let algae grow and biofilm. But even if it was clean, a lot of times those suction cups just don't hold that equipment. And I was struggling with that. These filters just did not want to stay in place. The heater didn't want to stay in place with the suction cups that are provided by the manufacturers. So what I ended up doing, I went on Amazon, I found a couple of magnets that would fit. And I used magnets I actually used a little super glue and I glued a magnet on the suction cup of the filter, suction cup of the heater, and then I used a second magnet behind the glass on the back of the tank to hold those in place, and it does great. Yeah, they're just small magnets. I don't have one here available. I have a couple other ones, but they're over on the refrigerator. But anyway, they're just small magnets, powerful enough to hold the equipment up. And when I get ready to service any of it, I can just reach behind the tank, take the magnet off, and take the sponge filter, the heater out, whatever I need to do. And that's what I've got to work for me, is using magnets to hold up the sponge filters and my heater in the back. They just kept falling down after a while. They stuck originally, but yeah, they just, some stuff just doesn't stick at all with those, despite how well you clean the glass or even clean the suction cup. Once the added weight of water is added to these sponge filters, they weigh a lot more, and they just didn't want to hold up. So yeah, I use magnets to hold them up, and it works really well. Well, I hope I haven't been rambling on too much. I don't know why I actually decided to, divulge that much about myself, but I kind of want, people to know a little bit about me and who I am and what makes me tick, I guess. My wife Ann and I have been married for 16 years now. We have an amazing marriage. She's a wonderful person, drama free, and supports me and everything I do. She's really stuck through me through some very rough times in my life, and couldn't be happier. And she even tells her friends that I treat her like gold, so there's that. That's always good to hear from your wife. So hope everybody has a great day, and at some point in time here I will show my face. I'm a little self-conscious. I don't know, I'm not an extroverted type of person, and I said I'm 6'8", and I'm a big guy, and I got hair down past my shoulders and a full beard. But anyway, one of these days here soon, I'll show my mug. And on my videos, hopefully that doesn't scare off any of my subscribers. But I hope everybody has a great day. Don't take things too serious, as a Joker would say. This life's just too short to be too serious about stuff. So have a great day. Hug your kids if you got them. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks a lot. This is Tom from 2 Cave Aquatics. Hope I haven't put anybody off with what I had to say about myself. Life is funny. What are you gonna do? Live it to its fullest. And okay, have a great day, everybody. Thanks. Bye.